If you're thinking about moving on the north shore of Montreal, Boisbriand could be a great alternative. Today I'm presenting the pros and cons of living in Boisbriand. Boisbriand is a small city just north of Laval at the entrance of the Lower Laurentian. It has about 27,000 people and it has a great residential neighborhood, but also a commercial and industrial neighborhood, which makes it a really great and vibrant city. What I personally like about the city is the fact that the city really cares about the environment. So this is really nice because it's a small city, and when you look at the logo, you see a tree and it's green, but it's really in line with their values. And personally, I like it a lot. And my clients that I've sold houses to that live in Boisbriand, they all tell me that they like the fact that the employees of the city care about the environment. Now, with respect to the location of the city of Boisbriand, you're about 18 to 19 kilometers if you use Highway 15 to the entrance of Montreal. That's about 20 to 25 minutes if you want to enter Montreal. And it's about, I'd say, 30 to 32 kilometers from Boisbriand till you hit downtown Montreal. That's about a 45 to 50 minute drive if there's no traffic. Of course, if there's traffic, it could be much longer, but no traffic, let's say on a Saturday morning, it would take you 45 minutes roughly to get to the downtown area of Montreal. My name is Gabriel Laflamme. I've been a realtor since 2009, and every single day I get calls, email, texts from people just like you that are looking to buy a house in Boisbriand or in the suburbs on the North Shore or in Laval. If this is your case, just shoot us an email, call us. Our info is all in the description below. We'll be happy to guide you and help you buy or sell your property. So now let's start with the cons of living in Boisbriand. The first thing that comes to my mind with regards to Boisbriand is the fact that you'll have some traffic, especially when you hit the 640, Highway 640 zone. When you're driving on Highway 15 and you see the sign 640 in a kilometer from now, well, this is when you start to hit a lot of traffic, because in Laval, you get the 440. That's the major highway that crosses the island of Laval. But when you hit the North Shore, you have this highway that's called 640. You enter Boisbriand and you're right on the 640, and there's always traffic, especially in this area. Sometimes it's not as strong as some other days, weekdays, but you'll get a little bit of a traffic every time you cross that Highway 640 and 15. And on the western side, you have the Highway 13, but it also crosses 640, and you'll get some amount of traffic. I've asked a couple of my clients that live in Boisbriand for some cons because honestly, it was really tough for me to find those. But my client, Andre, she told me that the city has a trash pickup schedule bi-monthly, which means that every other week the truck will come and pick up the trash. But what happens is that during the summertime when it's really hot, well, obviously if you leave your trash outside, you could start to have some smells after maybe 7-8 days. So that's unfortunate, but that's the resources they have, and that's their strategy. It's every other week they go for the trash picking. The truck will pass, but it comes with the side effect of having those odors. Boisbriand is surrounded with different highways, like I previously mentioned, Highway 15, 640, and Highway 13. So there's good chances that if you buy a house or a condo in Boisbriand, there's a good chance you'll hear the highway. Some areas are quiet and they're far away from the highway, but most of them, they're close from either a main boulevard or a highway. So that's the side effect of living close to a highway. You'll hear those noises. The first week, they're like, oh boy, we really hear the noises from the highway, but after a year they can't even hear it basically. So it's just the first couple of weeks that it's gonna get on your nerves. When you live in Boisbriand, you pay taxes on your water consumption. Like in a lot of other municipalities in North America, you pay taxes on the amount of water you consume. And how it works is that you have a predetermined amount of water you can consume per year. I don't know the exact number, it's on the website of the city. So if you surpass that amount, well, you'll pay additional taxes. But the thing is, I've asked some of my clients, and they told me that, some of them have like 3-4 kids, which means that the same address, you got 6 people, you got the same amount of consumption you're allowed to per year. And if you have a neighbor that lives by himself, or it's just a couple and they don't consume that much water, well, they have the same predetermined amount they can consume per year of water. It's not by the number of citizens within a roof, it's by the address. This address has the same amount as this address, has the same amount of this address, has the same amount of address. It's not based on the members of families that live under the same roof, unfortunately. But again, that's an initiative that the municipality of Boisbriand, the city of Boisbriand, takes to reduce the amount of water the city uses. And it's good because, you know, as we know, water is really rare resource, and we gotta make sure that we don't consume it as if it's gonna be there forever. So it's a good initiative, but it comes with the fact that you might pay taxes if you're a big family. Extra taxes, I mean. Okay, so now let's look at the pros of living in Boisbriand. If you want to go to Boisbriand, it's really easy. There's tons of different ways to get there. Easy access is most probably one of the great advantages of pros of living in Boisbriand. I live in Sainte-Rose, LAVAL. If I take my car and I take the Highway 15, I'll be there in 7-8 minutes. My friend Mark, he lives in Laval, but in Fabreville, in the western part of Laval. He would take Highway 13, same thing. He would be in Boisbriand 7-8 minutes. So really easy to get to Boisbriand from either Montreal or Laval. You hit the highway 13, 15, and both of them go up north, and then you use 640 to go all the different places in Boisbriand. So it's really easy to get by. Now, Boisbriand, when you think of Boisbriand, if you live in Laval like myself, or anyone that lives on the north shore of Montreal, when you think of Boisbriand, you think of shops, restaurants, stores. It's all outdoor. There's a place called the Faubourg Boisbriand, and this is where you get like a bunch of different options for dining and having fun and bars and all that. You even have a Costco. So for those people that own a house or a condo in Boisbriand, well, they don't even have to go to Laval or Montreal because they got all the options in front of them. In Boisbriand, you'll see tons of different parks and green spaces. You even have water banks that you can go and have a picnic and just walk in some banks, and you can see the water because Boisbriand is just north of Montreal. So you cross that bridge to go to Boisbriand. So you got that nice water banks that you can have access to. And they're really well kept. They're well maintained by the city again. You got great alternatives if you want to go outdoors. And the parks are extra clean. You can tell the city emphasizes the maintenance of all its different parks. And when you go on the website of Boisbriand, you see all the different parks. You see pictures, and you clearly see that they're putting some resources and some money to make sure that the parks are appealing for families to go to. And generally speaking, Boisbriand really offers a great quality of life. I've been selling houses for the last 13 years. I've sold a bunch of houses in Boisbriand, and every single of my clients, when I ask them, are you happy? They're like, oh, we love Boisbriand. We really enjoy the city. Our kids, they love the city. So generally speaking, the quality of life of the people that live in Boisbriand, people are happy there. So that's really good. The city of Boisbriand really listens to its citizens. It's a proactive city. I'll give you a few examples. One of my clients, there was a light street in front of her house that was broken. The light needed to be changed. In a big city, you could call the city. 2 months later, it's not changed. She calls the city 2 days later. Oh, brand new light in front of her house. That's just to give you an example. And another of my clients, she had a big tree that was broken because of a storm in front of her house. She calls the city, the department that takes care of cutting the trees. They stop by the next day or the other day. And it's always like that. You even have like a app on the website of the city of Boisbriand. You can see when the truck, the sweeping truck that cleans the street, you have a GPS on the truck, and you can see where it's heading. So if you have cars outside that are parked in the street, you can make sure they're not in the way of the sweeping truck when the cleaning sweeping truck pass by. So they got a bunch of different initiatives to make the quality of life of its citizens really great. And you really feel, even myself, when I call the city for information for a client of mine, they really call back fast. So that's the beauty of having a small city, and the employees of the city, they really take their job seriously. And for those for the owners that own a house in Boisbriand, for the families that live there, seems like it's a big plus. It's a big pro. Last but not least, on the pro side, the arts and culture within Boisbriand are put forward in the sense that when you drive within the city, you'll see some sculptures in front of the fire department in the different parks. So the city puts some money aside to encourage all the artists, and you can really feel that. Almost in every park, you'll see some sculptures. So it's not just in one park, it's everywhere. When you drive in Boisbriand the next time, just take a look at all those different pieces of art. It's really nice. And in terms of the music and the shows, in the parks during the summertime, you got shows all summer long. You got music, you got comedy show, you got some writers that will read their books in front of some small audiences. So in other words, if you have a family, you want to go watch a show, you don't have to take your car and drive to Montreal. You have access to those shows 5 minutes away from your home. So that's a really big plus. You even have a church that was converted into a theater. So with a small budget and a small city of 27,000 people, the city really puts a lot of emphasis on making sure its citizens have access to some art and to some culture, and this is really great. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have more videos coming soon. Take a look at them. I'm pretty sure you'll like them. And if we can help you, my team and I, if you have a project of buying or selling a home in Boisbriand or in all the different suburbs on the North Shore, even Laval or Montreal, we're there to help. Shoot us an email, call us. Our information is down below in the description. I'll see you in the next video, and take good care of yourself.